Okay, so for 3.4, we're going to be looking at point-slope form of a line. So we talked about on Tuesday slope-intercept form. So now we're going to do point-slope form. Point-slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Y is going to stay y always. Because when we are putting something into point-slope form, this is what we're going to spit out. So we have to have just a regular y. Now, the y1 is going to be the y-coordinate of my point. So it's the y-coordinate of the point that's given. They will give you a point. So the y1 is going to be the y-coordinate of the point. What is m? Slope.
I'm going to see right there.
So if y gets to stay y, what do you think x is going to do? Stays x.
Wait, m is slope, right? M is what?
M is slope. So then what do you think x1 is going to be? It's the x-coordinate of the point.
Okay.
Okay, so just really quick, let me recap. For point-slope form, y stays y in our equation. It's going to be what we spit out as our answer. y1 is the y-coordinate of the given point. M is the slope. X stays x. And x1 is the x-coordinate of the point. So, let's do the first example. The first example wants us to write the equation of a line with a given slope 2/3, and it passes through the point -3/9. So we're going to plug this into point-slope formula. So we leave it as y minus. What's the y-coordinate, guys? 9 equals, the slope is 2/3,
And
parentheses,
then x minus -3. Can we just put plus or
x,
her
minus,
responsibility?
and then the x-coordinate is what?
Negative.
-3. So stick it in parentheses for me. I don't like the way this looks, guys. How can we write this so it's more simplified? Y plus 3. So what I want to point out, this would be x plus 3. And that's your point-slope form. So you're done. What I want to point out, look at our equation. The y-coordinate was +9, but when we plugged it in, it says what?
Negative.
-9. So we'll have to take the opposite. And then when I plugged in -3 for the x-coordinate, what happened? It made it positive. So if we, when we pull out the point from point-slope form, we'll have to take the opposite, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's look at example 1. I give you the equation y minus 1 equals 2/3 x minus 2. First of all, let's find the point. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the point out of here. We're going to find the slope, and then we're going to graph the whole thing. Okay? What is the x-coordinate of the point? 2. And even though it says -2, the x-coordinate is going to be +2. What's the y-coordinate?
1.
1.
Positive 1.
Positive 1. So let's plot that. Let's put a point at 2, 1. So right 2, up 1. And then, guys, what's my slope? 2/3. Okay. So from the point that we plotted, my rise is positive 2. So we're going to go up 2 spaces. And what's the run? Positive 3. So I'm going to go which direction? Right. 1, 2, 3. Put another point there, and then you can draw the line. So if I give you a point and a slope, you should be able to easily write the equation, right?
Yes.
If I give you the line, you should be able to easily pull out the point and the slope, and then you can graph it. Everybody good? So what if then I give you a graph, and then I want you to write the equation from the graph? So I drew the axis. I didn't put points on there yet. So in example 2, let's do a point at 1, 4. So plot a point at 1, 4 and -2, -3. In a problem, these would be given to you. And pretend like that's a straight line. I didn't do a great job. Okay, so there's your line. The first point is at 1, 4, and the second point is at -2, -3. So, given the graph, can I easily count what the slope is?
Yes. Yes.
That's what we've been doing since day 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could I pick out a point from the graph? Yeah. So that's all we need. So we need to know the slope, and we need to know a point. To count the slope, do you guys want to start from the bottom point and count up, or do you want to start from the top and count down? Bottom up? Okay. So my rise, slope is rise over run. I'm going from -3 to +4. How many spaces up did I have to go?
7.
+7. So my slope is going to be 7 over. And then going to the right is positive direction. And I went from -2 to +1. So that's +3. So my slope is 7 over 3. How many points do I actually have to choose from?
1, 3, 4, 5.
A bajillion.
Any of them, but there's 2 that are actually given to me, right? Guess what? You can pick any point on the line. Any point. So how many of you want to use 1, 4? How many want to use -2, -3? Let's do both. So let's start with using the point 1, 4. Plugging in the point 1, 4, that's going to be y minus. What's the y coordinate? 4 equals 7 over 3 times x minus, what's the x coordinate? 1. That's it, you're done.
Wow.
What would have happened if I used the point -2, -3? That would give me y plus 3 equals 7 over 3 times x plus,
1.
what's the x coordinate?
3.
2. Guess what? Either one of these is correct. So on the homework, if you give me this one, I will give it to you. If you give me this one, I will give it to you. Okay? So on these ones, there's actually more than one correct answer because you can pick any point on the graph. Okay? So the very last one I want to do is, what if I give you the information in a table and I want you to write an equation for it? So this table shows the altitude of a plane in a given amount of time. So after 10 seconds, it is at 640 meters in the air. At 30 seconds, it's at 590. At 70, it's at 490. and at 90 seconds, it's at 4:40. So it's going down. So in order to write the equation for this, I need to know the slope, and then I can pick any of these points and plug it in. So to find the slope, it's our change in y over change in x. We need to pick two y's to subtract. Which two y's do you guys want to use? 10 and 30? Okay, so let's do 640 minus 590, those are our y's, over, since I use 640 first, what value do I have to use first? 10 and then 30. Okay, guys. 640 minus 590, what's that going to give me?
50 over negative 10.
What? What is it? 15?
50.
50 over negative 20. Now, would it make sense to give the slope in a decimal for this one? Negative 2.5. Let's do it as a decimal. Because it's altitude, right? It doesn't make sense that our slope is negative.
Yeah, because it's going down.
It's going down. Okay, so this is our slope, negative 2.5. Can I use this slope and then one of these points to write the equation of the line? Yes, I can. Which point you guys want to use? 10, 640? Okay, I'm going to do my work off to the side. So that's going to be y minus 640 equals negative 2.5 times x minus 10. I don't really like the way this looks.
I'm confused.
If we were talking about the plane going down and there's our rate of change, and then I want to know what where the plane actually started, what the initial value was. Does this tell me any of that?
I did that.
So can I write this so that it is in slope-intercept form?
Yeah. Again?
Yeah. Distribute. Let's finish. Hold on. Negative 2.5x plus 2.5 times negative 10 gives me positive 25.
Mine equal.
Add 640 to both sides. So we can write it as y equals negative 2.5x plus 665. So the plane started at an altitude of 665, that's the initial, and then it's descending at negative 2.5. Okay?